It's The Strip with Walter and Bunny. Yes, it's that dynamic detective duo you know from True Vault Escapades, now taking on the glitz and glamour of New Vegas. Brought to you by Old World Tunes application and radio station. We begin tonight's curious adventure with The Slot Machine Slayings. It's an early morning at Walter and Bunny's new detective agency, and Detective Camry is sitting by his old radio.
Colley Square, Mayor Murphy. Attorney that left you dead and Boston leaderless. Why venture? Emerge from the shadows, villain, or face the justice of the Silver Shroud.
Oh, the Silver Shroud does it again.
Find out what happens next week.
Oh, there you are, Walter. I was looking all around town for you. That casino case is getting everyone on edge.
Oh, don't think I was napping on the job. Just a 10-minute break. Was able to catch the end of the Silver Shroud episode. Probably the best break I've gotten all this week.
Well, break's over. Now, put a trench coat over that shirt and let's get ready. We still have 6 houses to get to before we head out into the city again. And I believe one of these names here just had an incident last night, authorities say.
I understand this is the biggest crisis since the Resource Wars. But I'm more of a homicide man. What pushes this past security's capabilities?
Because security can't solve it. And Mr. House's security specifically is electronic, meaning hackers are a possibility in this situation. And the big man in the Lucky 38 doesn't want faults that make him look weak. So, in this case, he wants biologically able bodies to sort out this mess.
The slot machines are always rigged. I don't know why casino patrons are just now figuring this out.
Only Mojave Desert hicks think it's fair game. But Vegas residents know what's up. It's one thing to win some and lose most, but now the gamblers are starting to leave. It's so bad. Businesses tend to dry up like that.
And the managers of said casinos can't operate their machines?
It's not like they can't operate them, but the thing is, the machines seem to have nothing wrong at all. Mechanics and the innards have a clean bill of health.
May I reiterate, not my problem.
Walter, it's our problem if Mr. House says it's our problem.
Mr. House said nothing. You and I both know the Tops Casino is run by the chairman, a ruthless mob who's just as crooked as the other casino owners. And we don't take orders from the mob.
But there are employers, and trust me when I say a quick word would get back to Mr. House in a heartbeat when he realizes we won't help with his classiest casino. Besides, the Tops has been good to us. Free food, free shows on the side, even some complimentary chips for the games.
That's called the take, Bunny, and we're not in on it.
Can't you just be glad Guns and Bullets won't be involved in this one? I swear, sometimes I think you enjoy it.
Not one for thrills, eh? Welcome to the wasteland. So who are we meeting with first on the list?
Oh, Old Lady Baldwin. She's the one claimed to have snagged the bit of evidence from the casino.
She tell you where she lives?
Of course, it's one of those little pre-war shanties just outside of Freeside.
Got an address, a street, a county?
Sure, it's 123 Blown into Oblivion Lane.
It's all in the machine, I tell ya.
Now, Miss Baldwin, let's both start from scratch. And start slow.
Okay.
You enter the Tops Casino. When?
5:15. It's not as crowded around the floor in the earlier afternoon hours. I'm an old lady. Slots are all I limit myself to.
And what about this odd occurrence with the slot machines, Miss Baldwin? The top says your report claims mysterious last-minute switches on the machines. Images reacting late after the lever was pulled.
Yes, looks like the Tops got corny at the last minute and wanted to cheat its customers. Even us long-timers. Ain't never seen a slot machine rigged so badly before.
Sounds a lot like gambling to me.
But you ain't never seen such a cheap machine, I tell ya. Gambling there for 62 years gave me a keen eye to trickery. and I darn well know it was happening. Can't work around it. I tried. So it's hard to just plain out think the machine's broken. So whoever rigged the thing is doing a bad job at it. A way to drive your customers out.
And now it says here that you tried contacting some of the Top's chairmen to fix the problem, and nothing was wrong. Care to clarify on this statement, Miss Baldwin?
Well, that's what they do, don't you see? Them old chairmen probably switched the machine with a good one to make it look like I was going Bugsy on 'em. If they didn't switch it, they probably tripped whatever was making it act that way.
Strange.
It done puzzled me, too.
Now, Miss Baldwin, I'm not questioning your judgment, but what would hurt just switching seats for once? Or do you think those are rigged too?
Oh, them? I've been using that same old slot machine for years now. That's my special seat, you hear me? My lucky seat. Made more fortunes there to finance 3 houses on my own since I began. And you don't just give up a lucky seat when your machine's acting faulty on you.
Oh, come now, Miss Baldwin. You can't obviously believe in such a thing as luck, do you?
Of course I do. Everybody got some sense of fortune in New Vegas. Heck, your girlfriend believes in it, don't you, Bunny? It's on that little wrist display of yours.
Oh, that's no measure of luck. Just a count of close calls, narrow brushes with death, things like that. A tally, really.
Bah, you two wouldn't understand. You gotta live with luck out here. Just that some people want to tamper with it. And when that happens, there'll be payment behind bars. Or blood. I don't care how it'll be solved. I just want those Tops back in order again. And my slot machine like they used to.
Well, it was the Tops that hired me and Bunny here to look into the matter. And if they needed detectives on the job, something under both of your noses is going on.
Don't worry, Miss Baldwin. When Walter and I are finished with this case, you'll be back on those slots like you used to.
Well, I sure hope so. Because these days have been boring.
Oh.
Well, that was odd. Rolling blackouts haven't happened since the Hoover Dam feud.
That's quite all right, ma'am. You happen to have a lamp we could use? Wait. In the window. Bunny, get down! Okay, he's gone. Bunny, switch on your Pip-Boy light.
Right.
Now that's better. Is everyone all right?
I'm fine, Walter. Miss Baldwin, are you all right? Miss Baldwin...
What is it, Bunny?
Walter! There's blood on that couch. The one Miss Baldwin was sitting on it. Oh, God. Not old lady Baldwin.
Shine the light on her.
I am, Walter. Oh, no.
Miss Baldwin? Miss Baldwin? Well, she's dead. Bullet went straight through her heart. Poor thing was being chased. Silenced, more likely. We should get some NCR security for this. It looks like lousy slot machines weren't the only motive for this murder.
Well, Walter, you got your wish. This has officially turned into a homicide case.
I just don't get it, Bunny. A local-grade racket can only go so far. But traveling the hot sands just to whack some old woman in her house? It just doesn't add up.
What's there to get? Old lady obviously had a solid lead on the case, and whoever they are, had a hunch she'd be questioned on this.
More likely, the assailant had the wire on our little meet-up with Baldwin, which does just about confirm he was working with a group meaning to hush the rigged game.
Well, the Tops has been a business I've been accustomed to out of the 3 major casinos, and it's no mystery that they're crooked. But nailing one of their longest customers for discovering a little slot machine fraud, that's an act even too far for them. I mean, come on, it's Vegas. All the games have a little tampering with them. You'd be an idiot to think otherwise. Ah, well, this will be one heck of an arrest we'll be making.
Don't be fooled, Bunny. I don't think the Tops chairmen are fully behind this.
Wait, it makes perfect sense, though, doesn't it?
Why, of course. Though that's what the assailant would want you to think. Blame the Tops, and he goes home free. But if you open your mind a little bit, you'll see that this is just a bad attempt at a frame-up.
How? Tell me if you're so smart, then.
Please, this is no different than what happened in Vault 54. Someone gets shot, and the murderer tries to point us the other way. Though this time, we won't be tricked. That assassin wants to see the Tops Casino in shambles, and we're about to show him he's sadly mistaken.
Well, ring-a-ding-ding, baby. If it ain't the stylish detective and his sweeter than apple pie dame. You look tired. Care to relax and play a sweet game of roulette? And don't worry, cigars are on the house, always.
Not today, Swank. We're actually just getting started on a case.
Oh, you guys just on a coffee break or something?
We'd actually like to take a closer look around here.
What's that for? Is something wrong?
I'm afraid a small lead has led us here.
Baby, I need to keep things on the low around here. Word gets around that two big detectives were skulking around. It could drive away business, you dig?
I thought you were the ones who wanted their slot machines fixed.
Well, yeah. Oh, I thought it wouldn't take place here.
Just tell us where Benny is, Swank.
You and I both know that Sly Fox would want to see you, pussycat, but he's out of town right now.
Well, do you know how long?
Don't know. Said he had some delivery man to see. That was two of the meanest great cons I've ever seen.
Great.
Well, we'll be taking a look around your humble abode, Mr. Swank. We'll stand next to the dealers, make it look like we're gambling. Your customers won't notice us.
All right, Walter, baby. Come on in.
I know this is where you prefer to get your gamble on, so show me to your finest slots, milady.
Har har. Well, just about the entire right side of the casino is a wall of slot machines, so first things first, we find the late Miss Baldwin's special seat.
Special seat?
That's right. I'd occasionally pull the lever with her on days I wasn't feeling up to blackjack, or the poker games. Batty old woman had her initials carved on the underside of the bar seat she'd sit on. Bless her soul.
Initials on a seat, huh? She sure was an advocate of Lady Luck.
She went a little bonkers after the loss of her husband. Even the retired NCR guys go missing sometimes.
The elderly vets get kidnapped?
Darn Legion. Whole town is going to heck in a handbasket since the Hooper Dam fight. It's no doubt those wannabe Roman soldiers took him in the dead of night. Many strange things have happened since the battle, you know.
Yes. And the NCR has another thing coming if they expect me to enlist. I've had my fill of the Legion crazies, thank you. Is that it?
There she is, scratched right under the chair.
Bring that a little closer. DB.
That's Debbie Baldwin. How she didn't nail this thing to the ground is beyond me.
I don't get it. Everyone knows these slot machines have a 1 in, 8,000 chance of really fattening up your pocketbook? Did she really think this would move her out of that shack of a house that she just got smoked in?
Fortune was a young lady's game to her. I think she found peace in the game. No need for the fast lane of craps and blackjack. Just a ripe old woman and a game she could play by herself.
Makes sense. Well, let's see if Miss Baldwin wasn't kidding. Seven, pair. Seems normal.
3 times the charm. Seven bar plum.
Bar. Well, would you look at that, Bunny? We actually got a little something out of that one.
Something's not right here. It's one thing for there to be a normal acting slot here, but this one almost seems too lucky.
So old lady Baldwin sat here every waking day and for once noticed a fluke in the slot machine. You think she just fell off her nut over a one-time occurrence?
Why? I hate to conclude something like that, but we can't ignore the fact that someone was meaning to silence the old woman.
You do realize that there is such a thing as gambling debts. I'm not justifying the murder, but old lady Baldwin might have gotten herself mixed into something she couldn't get out of.
The Tops murdering possibly the oldest regular it ever had over a little jam like that? Surely Benny and the chairman would have worked something out without creating a scene so drastic and desperate. I'm not investing my stock into an idea like that.
Bunny, we both saw how sketchy Swank was acting when we came in here. It sounds like some beans are meaning to be spilt around here.
No, we are not getting ourselves involved with the chairman. At least not if we aren't 110% sure it wasn't them.
You seem to be forgetting that Mr. Robert House himself bestowed upon us legal deputization over the New Vegas area. If we need to interrogate a couple of those daisy suit freaks, we darn sure can.
Don't be a fool. This isn't Plano or Carbon anymore. You're in a big city now, Walter. To them, we're just a couple of Texas hicks. The mob is really what runs this place. If Swank or any one of those casino families wanted us dead, they'd find a believable reason to shoot us dead and dump our bodies in the Mojave. Mr. House would give him a slap on the wrist and call it a day.
Give me time to fetch my anti-material rifle, and they sure could try.
Ugh, you're impossible. Wait,
What?
this slot machine. There should be a crack in it. Right here on the glass screen.
A crack? Why's that, Bunny?
Why, old lady Baldwin always used the one with a crack in it on the right side of the screen. Told me she once knocked the snot out of it in anger one time. And she also had her initials carved into the back of the machine, too. Flip it around. What? No initials either.
Well, this is the wrong slot machine, Bunny.
Well, ain't that the darndest thing?
You think it was moved somewhere else?
Well, it had to be. But why ever would they do that? There's no point.
Well, check those other slot machines down the line. Well, that slot machine is the only lead we could have.
It's here, Walter.
Excellent. It's here. Well, there it is. The cracked screen. And the carved initials. What now, Bunny?
Only one thing to do. Test it.
All right. Give us something good, old lady Baldwin. 7, 7, 7!
It worked.
I'm sorry, Bunny. We'll find another way to... What the...
A gold bar? It changed. That's a rigged machine. She was right.
Hey, that was a solid jackpot right there.
Not anymore. My word, and what an obvious switcheroo. Took it nearly 5 seconds for the last image to change.
And an obvious clue that this machine has been tampered with.
Hey, I told you cats to keep it subtle. I'm trying to run a business here.
Mr. Swank, we have it on good authority that one of your slot machines has been wrongly tampered with.
What the? Really?
It was the late old lady Baldwin's special slot machine. You'll find it here that the game fancies a last-minute switch with each play. We haven't checked the others yet, but this is a confirmation, as Miss Baldwin has used this very machine since she first stepped foot in this casino.
Whoa, back it up, Buster. The late Miss Baldwin?
I'm afraid she's been...
Murdered. Shot through the window of her home as we were questioning her about this very situation.
We also found her special machine moved to a different area of the casino. And I bet you this is the first time it was moved.
I can't believe she's dead? Wow, baby, that takes some kind of stone-cold killer to take down an old woman like that. Or an old woman in general. And you say while you two were investigating?
In the midst of conversation, the lights cut out, a gunshot, and then Baldwin's corpse.
We believe it was to keep her quiet from this.
Ah, babies, I need to sit down for this one. I don't know nothing about stuff like this. I mean, back in the tribe days, we had to do things that were a little unsavory. But believe me when I say this, we would never lay a hurtful hand on that old old lady.
We believe you, and we intend to keep your names out of this, as long as we can get a hold of a solid lead as to who killed her.
Well, kiddies, I would love nothing more than to get that monster behind bars, or in a ditch as much as you do. But I can't for the life of me think of anyone who'd want to whack that poor old woman.
Oh, please, Swank. You and I both know who want to silence Miss Wrinkles to keep their secret safe.
Ah, stay out of this, Destiny.
I'm sorry, miss, but who are you?
Little old me, they call me Destiny. Just Destiny. And you two must be Walter Camry and Bunny, big Texas characters out here to clean up our big old city. I don't have high hopes, but you can consider me a fan. I always had taste for wasteland justice.
Destiny, pussycat. It's great to have you around, but not when a freaking murder is in the air.
Ma'am, I'm sorry to turn you away, but unless you have any information regarding the death of Miss Baldwin, I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Tell him, Swanky. Tell him about how Benny...
Destiny!
Now hold on there, Swank. I want to hear what she had to say. Go on, Destiny. What did Benny have to do with this?
The big man, Benny, was a little steamed after his penthouse party last weekend, talking about an expected amount of funding he didn't get from the tops. Well, it was all good and fun until he and his boys got a little drunk and then got mad. In short, Benny went and started rigging his own machines. Well, a little more than they already are. Baldwin and a few others caught wind of it, and while the rest tried their luck on other games, Miss Baldwin, she stayed on and kept crying. Poor old thing. I tried to warn her.
Hold up. You're telling us that the owner of this establishment, Benny, furthered the tampering of his own machines in order to increase cash flow from the casino floor, and then he asks us to investigate on the matter? I don't see the benefit in lying.
Well, remember, Walter, Mr. House was the one who passed the complaint to us. We don't know if Benny was the one who told him. Was he?
Don't know. I never seen him enter the Lucky 38. Never seen him report it to security. Gosh, I know the Benster's a shady cat, but baby, this don't seem right.
Well, what about you, Destiny? Did you witness anyone pass that on?
Destiny. Is that your real name? Just curious.
Watch for life, It's my nighttime persona. Been a call girl for the Tops for about 3 weeks now, and no, though the man liked to keep me very close, I must have been too drunk or asleep when he told security. Mr. House in person, though, I don't think so.
An escort, eh? You must have an angle from behind the curtain, then.
Oh, Destiny, why couldn't you just swoon some gamble out of his money while he's distracted?
Oh, I do that every day, Swanky. Let a girl have a little fun. Honey, you're right about my backstage life. Now, I ain't got nothing too solid, but I do know a place where the small-time gambling places like to salvage old pre-war cheat machines. Gabriella's Gambling Den. Want to start your own casino from the ground up? Go there. If anybody's switching the slots, they be getting it from the duds over there. Let me tap it on your Pip-Boy, sweetheart.
Oh, thank heavens.
We knew there was a problem, Walter, but not one behind our backs. Either we're being lied to, or Benny might need mental evaluation. You wouldn't kill an old lady.
Keep telling yourself that, Swank. It'll only delve you deeper into denial. There, you're all set up. If you two need any more answers, you just come on back and ask for me. I'll do the best I can to help you.
Thanks, Destiny. You've been a big help.
You really think we'll find something legible there, Destiny? I could have sworn I passed by that ruined little shack a few times before.
That little shack is only what you see on the outside. Your Pip-Boy will show you what's really inside. But be careful, you two. I've heard stories about some ruffians that like to go around and prospect in there. Not the friendliest kind, at least.
We'll head over there now. Come on, Bunny.
Oh, never a dull day in the Tops, huh?
Not with me around.
And this is the place.
Looks rather gloomy. Are you sure they set us on the right track sending us here?
Well, she said the inside is what counts. So now there's only one thing to do.
Now that's the second flight of stairs we've been down, Walter. Just looks like loose gravel and dust to me.
2 floors full of nothing. Destiny was right about all those salvagers. Place seems picked clean. And if that switch-up at the casino had something to do with this place, it looks like it had to be the last slot machines this building could spawn. I don't know about this, Bunny.
This case is scarce for clues, but this place is all we got to find Miss Baldwin's murderer. Ugh, I'm not one for giving up, but I swear I could smell a dead end here.
A dead end is right. This looks like the bottom floor.
Ugh, talk about a false alarm. Other than that, nothing useful. Can't believe we wasted valuable time here.
Well, it was worth a try. Last time we take advice from an escort.
Walter, wait.
Huh?
It just hit me. An escort? The Tops Casino doesn't have escorts?
What do you mean? We just talked to one.
I go to the Tops just about every weekend, and never in my life have I seen anything along the lines of a flesh trade. Something's up.
Don't all the casinos have some form of prostitution? I don't frequent these places, but this is post-war America, after all.
No, Walter. Something doesn't smell right about Miss Destiny sending us here.
Bunny, get over to that Protectron and hack its terminal.
Huh? Why, Walter?
Don't ask questions. Get over there and do everything in your power to open that pod. Now.
Okay. Alright. This terminal is looking easy for now. Just let me get past this.
About now would be a fine time, Bunny.
I'm trying.
Too late.
All right, you two, put your hands up. Lower the gun, Camry.
All right. Guns on the floor. No need to shoot us, guy.
And you, hands off the terminal or I'll fire.
Do what he says, Bunny.
Fine.
Good. Now back over to your boyfriend on the wall. Slowly now. Keep your hands up while I pick up the gun. Good. And no funny business, you two. Remember, I'm the one with the gun.
Well, you have my weapon, so now what do you want? Why were you following us?
I thought you were a detective, not a fool. But that bunny gal seems to be catching on more than you.
Spill the beans. You've got nothing against us. If it's the building you want, you can have it. Nothing here but empty rooms.
It ain't scavenging I want. I came for you. Not to rob, not to kidnap, but to kill.
Please don't kill us. I don't know who you're after, but it ain't us.
I know who I'm after. Got a hot tip that some man in a trench coat and a girl in a vault suit were gonna be rummaging through this place fairly soon. And I know very few that would fit that description in a place like this.
Please don't.
Now just hold on, mister. We're in the building in regards to a murdered elderly woman who frequented the Tops, so unless you...
You idiot. I killed her. That was me. Bad move trying to dig deeper. You would have lived longer.
You killed Miss Baldwin? At the window?
Yeah. It was an unfortunate hit, but what's done is done. I didn't take any pleasure in the matter if that helps float your boat.
The bullet in the window. That explains everything. No sound when the lights cut off when we found Miss Baldwin okay on the floor. See that? He's got a silenced 10mm pistol.
Right. I like to call it my shot in the dark. Really orchestrates a silent but deadly kill. Never failed me, and it sure won't fail me now.
Now hold up. We're about to die anyway. Why not just tell us the plan, eh? Give us some closure. Why the switched slot machines? Why the murder? And who are you working for?
Nice try. But I couldn't risk the possibility. If you knew who my bosses were, you'd see why I can't spill my beans.
No, word would get around about this. Just tell us the plan and we'll be out of your hair.
Sorry, no dice. But you're right. You both will be out of my hair.
This is now a combat zone.
Bunny, duck!
Oh my. That was so close, Walter, but how did it escape its pod?
It was looking like the end of the road at first, but then I noticed the robot started moving behind the man. I did my best to stall him until it awoke. Good job for adding some input, even if he didn't know.
That's all fine and well, but it looks like we had a killer after us this whole time. Miss Baldwin's killer. And that robot seems to have done the job for us.
Yeah, and it seems to have left us with more questions than answers. Check what's left on his body, Bunny, and maybe that could lead us to our next clue.
Right. Gross. That robot's laser turned the man into dust. Much deserved. I can tell you one thing, Walter. He knew what I was talking about when I said the Tops Casino never used call girls before. He's probably just waiting for one of us to say that.
Really? But why would he come after us for discovering that fact, and not for the murder of old lady Baldwin? Isn't that what's important here?
To me, this goes deeper than the slot machines. And even the murder.
But all he had was...
No! He's murdered an endless amount of people. To him, old lady Baldwin was nothing. We both knew her murder was only to shut her up about the slots. But as much as it pains me to say it, the real question is, why would someone want to tamper with the top slot machines?
Well, who knows? Well, Swink already said Benny had the staff tamper with them already, but now they've been played with even more.
And tell me, Walter, why would anyone do that?
You seem to be the one with all the answers, Bunny. Throw 'em at me.
To lose the Tops' money. We all knew the criminal wanted to see Benny's casino lose customers, so he tampered with the slots. Well, now that someone knew, they were killed. That was Miss Baldwin. But all that's left is why. Well, that's because...
Justice will be administered swiftly and fairly.
Bunny, wait. We need to take this to the car.
Hey, you bucket of bolts. What are you doing?
Do not attempt to flee.
Back upstairs. To the car, Bunny.
Where are we going, Walter?
To the tops. From what you said, Destiny the Escort is our best bet. And speaking of that, what were you starting to say back there before the Protectron started shooting at us?
Oh. My mind is still racing from the gunfire. I nearly forgot about my epiphany. Wait, where was I?
You said the Tops Casino had no escort services, and that is why the man was waiting to shoot us.
Ah, yes. Well, first off, did you notice what the man was wearing? Well, before he got evaporated.
I think he was wearing a grayish press suit and a fedora. Why?
Aha. And who on the New Vegas Strip tends to sport such an outfit,
Ain't that just about any fashionable gambler's clothes?
I swear, you need to hit the casinos a bit more. No, the three biggest casinos on the Strip are the Tops, the Gomorrah, and the Ultralux. Now, you can already rule out the white gloves at the Ultralux because they all wear the creepy masks and the monkey suits. The same goes for the Tops, of course. Unless Destiny was right about Benny and all, but that seems unlikely.
So you think it's the Gomorrah?
I know it's the Gomorrah, and you want to know why? Because they run the city's flesh trade. Sure, you've got two-bit prostitution rings and escorts at the dingy little joints like the Atomic Wrangler, but Gomorrah's where the money's at when it comes to call girls. The Tops already makes decent caps collection over class acts and gambling, but the Gomorrah doesn't take kindly when you muscle in on their trade.
I don't know what to say, Bunny. That's probably the best hypothesis I've heard with so little clues.
Hypothesis? I single-handedly formed a dead man's alibi, and possibly the biggest casino in New Vegas' alibi, too.
Alibi? What is this? 2075? People mostly want people proven guilty for what they've done. Why isn't one of the rules in play?
Well, it's a stupid rule.
You'll learn one of these days, Bunny.
Walter, who are those men up the road there?
What? Who?
Well, I hope I'm not under the spell in the Desert Mirage, but to me it looks like I'm seeing more than 10 men up there.
Wait, I see. Wonder what that's for.
Passing caravan?
I was thinking that too, but where's the pack Brahmi? They're facing us now. They all turned around at once.
Get out. This car does turn heads, I suppose.
Not heads with guns. You see that?
What the? Hey! Point those barrels somewhere else.
No use in the means of negotiation. They're out to kill. We need firepower, now.
Way ahead of you, Walter.
Nah, we may need the big guns for this one. You think you can crawl to the trunk at this speed?
But at this speed?
Here comes a Spitfire. Brace for impact. There's a break in the fire. If you don't get back there now, we may not survive the next wave.
And who says the guns we have up here won't get the job done?
Because they have rifles and we have pea shooters. And the last time I checked, pea shooters don't get the job done.
Ugh, curse you, Walter Camry.
How are you doing back there?
Ugh, I'm almost at the trunk.
Pop it open. They're cocking their guns.
I'm trying, Walter. Got it.
You got it?
I got it.
Good. Hurry and get back to the passenger seat.
I can't do that.
What? Why?
They're too close to firing.
I'm not leaving you out on the outside of a moving car. Now get back inside before it's too late.
Leave me then. I'm posting up on the back of the car, so the front can be my cover. Now I suggest you get your head down. They're about to fire again.
You better not miss them, you crazy dame.
We're about to pass them up.
Do it!
I got him.
Nice shot, Bunny. Now get back in here before you fall off and kill the magic.
Right, Walter. Whew! What a wild ride that was.
I can't believe you shot a Tommy on top of a moving car, and you actually hit some of them.
What a rush. I don't think I'll ever be able to do that again. Oh, and you can take back what you said about the hypothesis. This confirms I was right about the Gomorrah.
All right, you win. Just don't let that go to your head when we get back there. This case ain't over yet.
We can't take this straight up with the biggest mob in the state.
We have to, Bunny. You said it yourself. All fingers point to them.
Think with your head, Walter. It's bad enough that we just wasted more than 5 of the Omertas. That's already more skeletons in the closet that we can handle. No. We need to handle this a smart way, or we'll end up just like them.
Whatever you say, Bunny. I just want to see the right people brought to justice in the end.
Or die trying.
Please submit to a credit check or present a passport.
Here it is. Now hurry it up, will ya?
Thank you for your cooperation.
They really that bad?
They string out their hookers so they have to work more to pay them back in dues. I think I know what I'm talking about when I say the Omertas are monsters.
Put that in my case files. These sick puppies need to be put down.
What did I tell you about the New Vegas gangs, Walter?
Fine. One of these days.
Now what's this?
Looks like a brawl is on the rise outside the Tops.
Walter, stop right here. We may just have to intervene after all.
Good deal. Maybe we get to smoke these freaks in the end.
Hold your trigger finger, gunslinger. The art of negotiation may be needed in this one.
The smallest jerk of violence, and I'm emptying my cylinder on them.
Fine. Just stay calm.
You rig our machines and then kill one of our own? Remind me again why I shouldn't put my gun down again.
Oh, ain't that so funny? Some kooky old bat drops dead in her own house, and then you blame it on us? Don't take too kindly to that kind of talk, pal.
Drop the act, wise guy. She dropped dead with a bullet hole through her back. Care to explain that?
Hey! Well, let's not forget that 16 of our guys go missing today while out in the desert. You really think that adds up to some crazy old hermit that wasted a cap such a crappy casino?
Now you take that back. You and I both know Big Sal had them hunt down our private investigators because he knew they'd catch you red-handed.
Is that what they went out there for? Didn't hear that part. Well, all I can say is I hope they buried them in the desert when no one could find them.
That's a negatory.
We're right here.
What the?
You! How the heck are you two still alive? Where's our boys? What did you do to them?
Walter, Bunny, I'm so glad you're here. These idiots claim we popped 16 of their guys. Can you believe this?
I sure can. They're Omertas. What did you expect, Swain? Now we got nearly 20 guys pointing guns at each other in front of the nicest hotel and casino in town. So glad to see you again, Miss Bunny.
It was our pleasure. Glad to see we arrived in the nick of time.
Hey, we asked you a question. Where the hell are our boys? They should have been back hours ago, and they should have killed yous both.
Aha! See, you guys? They admit it.
Only because you had these two sent to whack 'em.
Oh, please. I know Walter and Bunny. If there's one thing I know the most, it is that they are not mercenaries. Now get a clue, Omertas. Now run back to your little bosses so they can give you all a treat so you can leave us alone.
What's the situation, Swank? I can see things didn't get any better.
Look, the staff at the top started getting riled up when the news about the Gomorrah tampering our machine spread, and especially about old Lady Baldwin. Now, that was bad news within itself. But when those murder hotheads heard about some of their guys missing a while ago, they come to our doorstep armed to the teeth demanding answers. We had the whole story laid out for them, but they ain't gonna leave till they hear back from those men they sent after you. Baby, I hope you can defuse this situation. Because if not, this means all-out war between our two casinos, you dig?
I think I have a little something that can clear the air here. Keep your burners handy. I don't think they'll like the news about those lackeys of theirs.
Dang. Oh, hit him with your best shot then, girl. I'm sure old Benny doesn't want to come back from his trip with blood on his casino floor.
Give me a moment with them, Swanky. I bet this'll blow their minds.
Careful, Bunny.
I always am.
Yo, blonde dame, don't leave us hanging. What have you done with Slater and his men?
Gentlemen, you may want to sit down for this one.
I'll see about that.
Though I'm standing in the middle of a possible crossfire, I'd like to say why this whole situation is futile and just plain stupid.
What are you calling stupid?
You, if you decide to shoot. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. The reason you're about to spill unnecessary blood in the streets of New Vegas. Now, let's just start at the beginning. Walter and I were in the midst of investigating a few faulty slot machines in the Tops Casino. Seems simple, right? I mean, it's no lie that both of your casinos make it to where the odds of winning are way out of whack, but that's no mystery in a gambling town such as this. We had, 5 witnesses to interview about the nature of these slot machines, though I'm glad we didn't waste our time starting with the other 4, because only one had the leads we were looking for, and that was Miss Old Lady Baldwin, an old regular at the Tops Casino since her husband died. I mean, what else do you spend your time doing after a loss?
That, or drinking.
Absolutely. Though unfortunately, Miss Baldwin was shot down in front of my partner and I while we interviewed her. Lights cut out, bullet went through the window, and down went Baldwin. This is what turned a little tampering case into a murder case. So we investigate the top slot machine, which, yes, were not only tampered with, but replaced.
That's right.
Now, at the time, we didn't know where the fingers could point to. That was the hard part. But whoever they were made the mistake of not replacing Miss Baldwin's special slot machine, which had her initials engraved into it. It was on the far left of the wall, now on the right end. All but that one would be easily replaceable, since only one was marked. We asked Swank where he could find further clues, but he was clueless. That's when Destiny, a Topps escort, pointed us to a rundown old store where pre-war gaming machinery was sold to Vegas casinos. Once there, after finding nothing, a man with a finely pressed suit and a silenced pistol held us up and planned to kill us. Luckily, he got vaporized by a faulty old Protectron. It was scary, but odd. Too odd. And on the way back, we came under fire by even more men in finely pressed suits. This was undoubtedly men of the Gomorrah sent after us.
So it was you.
Let me finish. So here we are with the chairman thinking Big Sal of the Omertas was behind the slot machines and Old Lady Baldwin's murder. While at the same time, the Omertas think Chairman had Walter and I kill your fellow gangsters in return. Well, what if I told you if you were both wrong?
Huh?
You'll need to run that one by me again, sister. How the heck could someone else be behind this bunk?
What the heck, lady? You saying somebody wasn't loyal in the family? That's bull. Everybody in the Amantis is loyal from the womb to the tomb. Everybody knows that.
Ah, but not quite. Tell me, who was the Omerta in charge of your call girls and prostitutes?
Got a bunch. Which one?
Specifically one by the name of Slater, the one that died in the shop today. And judging by his actions today, he had two loves. And those were money and more money. But he had two problems, the Topps Casino and incoming debt.
Why would that dope have any need with us to begin with?
'Cause you're stupid.
Shut up! Look, I noticed something after Slater was killed. He had one of the biggest stakes in the Gomorrah's flesh trade. He had nearly all of the cash he could carry with drunken NCR soldiers and gamblers to supply his wallet. It was a win-win deal, being the only hotel and casino that supplied the leg in all of New Vegas. But we all know what changed with the Topps getting in on the escort business. Slater thought Big Sal and Nero would take notice and take that down immediately in any way possible. But they didn't. The Topps could have any kind of prostitution they wanted, and they knew the Gomorrah would still rake in the most dough regardless. So Slater was desperate, and when he saw one of his customers sway to the other casino, man, he was so money grubby that he couldn't stand a little less cash on him. So he performed everything I just explained a second ago. He knew that if he rigged the gambling game, that he would drive more customers back to the Gomorrah, all without the consent of the two bosses.
So you're saying it was a Gomorrah, but they weren't all in on it?
Only Slater and all the men he could hire. But there's only one question left. How did he know where to find us at the store? Because he had a man. Or in this case, a rather beautiful woman entered the fold of the Topps Casino to...
Okay, that's enough, sweetie.
I rest my case.
What the? Destiny, what are you doing with that gun?
I'm bound to use it if any of you sleazeball steps a step closer.
What the heck? You saying the dame set all this up for Slater?
I'm surprised you don't recognize her. It either takes some good loving or some good money to get a gal like her to do all that for a guy.
I think I remember seeing that girl. Always hung around Slater's arm like she was glued to him.
I cared about him, and I would have done anything to see him win over and over again. So that's why when he heard about the Topps was doing, I jumped on board immediately. Had a constant connection with him in my room after I heard he died.
You called this boys in on us. I rest my case.
Oh, I'll be putting something to rest, all right.
Bunny, look out!
Good shot, Walter.
It was a clean shot to her wrist. Nice work on that fancy little court hearing, Bunny.
All in a day's work. You know me.
All right. You have this case in terms of credit. But let the ledger state that I was the one doing the shooting.
Oh, please. Let's not forget who had to balance on a speeding car while taking down more than 10 heavily armed men.
So, Slater really did do it. Dang. Well, though I may not like it, that snake worked on his own behind the boss's backs. Same with those men. They deserved it. All of them did.
Hey, look, fellas, the guns are already down. So, let's just say when Benny gets back, we talk about dismantling the escort ring. No funny stuff. Just fold on it. This isn't worth all the fuss, you dig?
You're damn right I dig. Can't believe one of ours got all roughed up over some cheap gals. No need to worry about Big Sal and Nero. If we can all agree on one thing, it's that war's bad for business, huh? Let's try to put all this behind us.
Heh, call it a done deal, my friend. First round of drinks are on me. I think we all need to unwind after all this fuss. Phew, that sure was a close one, baby. I can't thank you two enough for what you did back there. I don't think if you had that crazy alibi for that Slater guy, we'd all be full of holes.
Well, that's life in New Vegas. But I don't have to tell you that, Mr. Swank.
And if I learned one thing from this place, it's that the games are just about always rigged from the start. But be careful. All because somebody's been cheated doesn't mean they can't cheat right back.
This has been Walter and Bunny in The Strip. Be sure to set your timers to the same time in 2 weeks for our next episode, The Case of the Great Bar Blowouts. Will our detectives be able to solve the string of exploding saloons before the NCR has to intervene? It's Walter and Bunny's most fast-paced case yet, and you won't want to miss it. All of this and more in The Strip. In the production you just heard, Walter Camry was portrayed by Eric Hoffman, Bunny by Amy Harris, Old Lady Baldwin and Destiny by Amber McCready, Swank by Jason Darman, Slater by Jake Goldfarb, and Omertus by Ezra Dufala. The entire production was written and directed by Preston Hardin. The Strip and True Vault Escapades are all productions brought to you by the Old World Tunes radio station and smartphone app.